My name is Krueger by Colton Dennis. I am Krueger. Ivy Greer appears breathing heavily, then quickly hides inside the closet. A shadow figure of a claw appears on the wall. Evil laughter in the distance. You could hide anywhere. But just know. I'll find you soon enough, said a demonic voice. Ivy continues breathing heavily, then slowly reaches for the blinds. The blinds move. A figure appears wearing a sweater and a dark brown hat, slowly looks up, then spreads the claw. Ivy gasps, then closes the blinds. Footsteps approaching the closet. The closet door opens. Miguel Greer appears. Honey, what are you doing in the closet? Come on, let's get you into bed, said Miguel. No, no, no. I don't want to go to bed, said Ivy. Why, what's wrong? asked Miguel. There's someone in our house, said Ivy. Honey, no one's in our house, said Miguel. Creaking sound in the distance. Both Ivy and Miguel look at the bedroom doorway. That's him, that's him. He's coming back, said Ivy. Honey, calm down. I'll go check it out, said Miguel, slowly walking towards the bedroom doorway, then looks down the hallway. Do you see him? Is he there? asked Ivy. No one's in the hallway. Come on, let's get you to bed, said Miguel, turning towards Ivy. Ivy slowly walks towards Miguel. A creaking sound comes from behind Miguel. Miguel gasps, then looks down. Claw appears through Miguel's chest. Ivy gasps. The claw gets pulled out of Miguel's chest. Krueger appears. Ivy screams. Krueger laughs. Found you, said Krueger in a demonic voice, walking towards Ivy, then swings the claw. Ivy ducks, runs out of the bedroom, then down the hallway. Krueger chases Ivy down the hallway. Get away from me. Get away from me, said Ivy. Krueger laughing. Ivy runs downstairs, then towards the front door. The front door opens ajar. A chain appears wrapped around the doorknob and the front porch post. Ivy continues pulling onto the door. Evil laughter from behind Ivy. Ivy looks. Little pig, little pig. Let me in, said Krueger in a demonic voice, raising the claw, then walks towards Ivy. Ivy grabs objects, then throws them at Krueger. Krueger knocks the objects out of the way, then gets closer. Ivy grabs an umbrella, then hits Krueger with it. Krueger goes into the wall, then falls onto the floor. Ivy goes to run. Krueger grabs Ivy's leg, then cuts it with the claw. Ivy screams, then kicks Krueger's face. Krueger lets go of Ivy, then stands up. Ivy crawling backwards. Krueger walks towards Ivy, raises the claw, then swings it. The umbrella opens. The claw goes through the umbrella. Ivy crawls away. Krueger grabs the umbrella. The claw rips through the umbrella's fabric. Krueger throws the umbrella, then looks around. Ivy appears hiding underneath the island in the kitchen. Krueger slowly walking. Ivy sees Krueger's legs next to the island. Krueger continues looking around, then lowers the claw. Ivy sees the claw, then covers her mouth. Krueger raises the claw, then runs it across the island in the kitchen. Ivy closes her eyes. Krueger walks around the island. Footsteps walking away. Ivy uncovers her mouth, then slowly crawls out from underneath the island. Krueger appears on top of the island and sees Ivy crawling. Ivy continues crawling. Evil laughter behind Ivy. Ivy stops, then turns around. Krueger smiling, then raises the claw. "No," said Ivy. Krueger jumps off the island, lands on top of Ivy, then laughs. Ivy screaming. "Keep struggling." "It makes me excited," said Krueger in a demonic voice. Ivy continues struggling. Krueger pins Ivy's arms onto the floor. "No, no, no," said Ivy. "Calm down, I want this to last," said Krueger in a demonic voice. "Get off me," said Ivy. "I will, after you're dead," said Krueger in a demonic voice. "Get off me," said Ivy, continuing to struggle. Krueger laughing, then stares at Ivy. "My, you look so good. Maybe a little taste before I kill you." Krueger goes to kiss Ivy. Ivy moves her head around. Krueger laughing. "Come on, just a kiss," said Krueger in a demonic voice, then licks Ivy's face. Ivy screams, bites Krueger's ear, then rips it off. Krueger falls off of Ivy, holds his ear, then groans in pain. Ivy spits out Krueger's ear. "That's what you get, bitch," said Ivy, standing up. Krueger looks up at Ivy, stands up, then runs at her. Both Krueger and Ivy go through a glass door, then land onto the sidewalk. Krueger rolls on top of Ivy. "Nice try. Now it's my turn, bitch." The claw cutting Ivy's arms. Ivy screams. Krueger laughing. "Now, let's really hear you scream," said Krueger in a demonic voice, then raises the claw. Ivy grabs a big piece of the glass, then jams it into Krueger's side. Krueger screams, then holds his side. Ivy pushes Krueger off herself, stands up, sees a shovel, then runs towards it. Krueger stands up, then chases Ivy. Ivy grabs the shovel, then turns around. Krueger punches Ivy. Ivy falls onto the ground. Krueger laughing. "Please, don't do this," said Ivy. Krueger looks at Ivy with a serious face, throws the shovel down, then smiles. Ivy's eyes widen. Krueger approaches Ivy, lays on top of her, then runs the claw over her face. Such beauty. Ivy looking at Krueger. "Such a shame," said Krueger in a demonic voice, then raises the claw. Ivy screams. Shotgun fires. Krueger gets shot, then falls off of Ivy. Ivy looks. Police officers appear. "Go see if he's dead." "You're all right now, ma'am," said officer number 1. Officer number 2 approaches Krueger. Krueger coughing up blood. Shotgun cocks. "I am Krueger," said Krueger barely in a demonic voice, then gasps his last breath. Officers walking Ivy towards an ambulance. "Everything is all right now." "We got him," said officer number 1. "Who was he?" asked Ivy. "Just some neighborhood kid that loved the fictional serial killer Freddy Krueger," said officer number 1. "That's just a sick person," said Ivy. "We can't help how people raise their children anymore," said officer number 1. "Officer, we need to show you something," said officer number 2. "Coming, I'll check on you later at the hospital." Officer number 1 walks away, footsteps approaching. "What's up?" asked officer number 1. His cell phone went off, and then after the call, we looked through his contacts. "You need to see this, sir," said officer number 2, handing the cell phone. Officer number 1 scrolling through the contacts. Voorhees, Myers, Lecter, Sawyer, Leray, Robitaille, Ghost. "These are all characters from different movies," said officer number 1. "And do you know what that means? There's more of them out there doing this," said officer number 2. "Dear Lord," said officer number 1. Man number 1 appears walking down the sidewalk carrying a case. A couple walks past. Man number 1 turns around. Lecter appears, smiles, then follows behind the couple. The end.